What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another Daily Deck Tech video, and today we've got number 2 of the 13 plus commander decks that I've got to get done for viewer requests. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. We have ourselves today a card that I had never heard of because I didn't buy too much of the Final Fantasy set, and that is Omega Heartless Evolution. It is an 8/8 for 7. Thank God it's in Simic so we can ramp it out there. 5 generic and Simic, and it has Wave Cannon. When Omega enters, for each opponent, tap up to 1 target non-land permanent that opponent controls. Put X stun counters on each of those permanents, and you gain X life, where X is the number of non-basic lands you control. I'm going to skip right down here, because normally I am a basic believer, but we're gonna go down here. I am only running 15 basics, friends. There are a lot of non-basics in this deck. A lot, because we want to stun lock our opponent's stuff. So, how are we going to do this today? Whoopsies. Well, we've got 18 creatures in this deck, so let's give a roll call here as to what we have. We have Arboreal Grazer. It's a 0/3 for 1 with reach, and when it enters, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. That's pretty good, because if you're playing a bunch of non-basic lands, lots of them do come into play tap these days, and so if you can get this down and drop one of them early, that allows you to get a little bit of a jump start. We have Coiling Oracle, so when it enters the battlefield, you can reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you put it into your hand. These two things also double as chump blockers. They're going to sit out there after they do their thing, and they're going to die to whenever somebody swings a big old chungus that trips over target snake or target sloth beast. We have ourselves Displacer Kitten. Yes, this is a very expensive card, but it is really good in this deck. It just very simply says, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So we're going to play stuff, and it's going to blink out our Omega, and our Omega is going to come back, and you're going to start stunning things. And you're going to try to do that as much as possible. We have Dowerport Mage. Whenever one or more creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, draw a card. So when you blink with Displacer Kitten, you get to draw a card. And then you can tap 2, return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. You can do this with Coiling Oracle if you want to, on the low end, or you could do it on the high end if you feel like spending 19 trillion mana on your card. We have Evolution Sage, so whenever a land you control enters, proliferate. We have Ignis Scientia? I don't know these people from Final Fantasy. I'm sorry, friends. I haven't played very many. Is this the one with the car? Looks like it could be the one with the car. When Ignis Scientia enters, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Not too bad. And then it has, I've come up with a new recipe. You tap 3, exile target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, make a food token. He's in here for the utility of getting you a land. We have Lulu. I actually know who Lulu is. She's from Final Fantasy X, the sole Final Fantasy game that I played. Whenever an opponent attacks you, choose target attacking creature, put a stun counter on that. Then you're going to want to proliferate that, which she can do herself. By tapping 3 generic and 1 blue, you can proliferate that counter. We have Meneldor, Swift Savior from Lord of the Rings. It's a 3/3 for 4, and when it deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature you own, and then return it to the battlefield under your control. People aren't really gonna want to care about Meneldor here. It's a 3/3, and, you know, not a lot of people run a whole lot of flying, so you can poke in for 3 and blink your big dude. We have Monstrosity of the Lake, which, if you pay the extra, also costs 900 trillion mana. Whenever Monstrosity of the Lake enters the battlefield, you may pay 5. By the way, this already costs 5. If you do, tap all creatures your opponents control, and then put a stun counter on each of those creatures, and then start proliferating. And it can also island cycle if you want to snatch up an island card. It doesn't have to be a basic. We have Nephalia Smuggler. Exile another target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. That taps for 4. Do that to your commander. Oracle lets you play an additional land and lets you play lands off the top of your library. And you also play with the top of your library revealed. Bright side is you get extra lands. Downside is people see what's coming. We have Overlord of the Hauntwoods. I love this card, and I also love the really creepy art for this. It has Impending 4. But it is a 5-drop for a 6/5 in green, so I usually just play it. I don't like the impending part in green. I just like getting it out there. And whenever it enters or attacks, you create a tapped colorless land token named Everywhere. That is every basic land type, which is pretty cool. We have Spark Double. You may have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters with an extra 1/1 counter on it. If it's creature, extra loyalty. If it's planeswalker and it's not legendary, copy your commander. Starfield Vocalist. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability, it triggers a second time. So when your Omega comes in, you can pick 2 things. Thassa. Thassa is here to blink things, because at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under your control. Then also, if you happen to have Devotion to Blue equal to 5, you have a 6/5 indestructible big creature. You can also tap creatures. Tireless Provisioner to get you some treasures to help with the mana generation. Uro, it's a 6/6 for 3 that you sack it if it wasn't escaped, and it enters the battlefield or attacks. You gain 3 life, draw a card, and then you put a land from your hand onto the battlefield, not tapped. And then you can escape it for 2 green, 2 blue, and exiling 5 other cards. Then we have Ishtola Rule. She's a 3/5 for 6. Man, we have so many cards that are 10 billion mana in this deck. At the beginning of your end step, exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Then if it's the first end step of the turn, there's an additional end step after this. Again, blinking your Omega. Sorceries. So we can't do a whole lot of traditional ramp, right? Like you can't play like Rampant Growth and Harrow and things like that, because although we do have basics, we want to have a lot of non-basics out here. So we do have some ramp that gets non-basics. For example, we have Explore, draw, play an additional land. Farseek lets you search for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain and put it into play tapped. It does not have to be basic. Nature's Lore lets you search for a forest. Again, not basic. Sylvan Scrying puts 1 into your hand. Hour of Promises, search your library for up to 2 land cards and put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. If you control 3 or more deserts, spoiler, we don't, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. I actually really like this spell a whole lot. I just don't ever bother running the deserts. I probably should, but I don't. Lessons from Life, draw 3 cards and you may play put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. It's the Turtles playing Magic the Gathering, which is really interesting. I wish I could tell what cards they were playing on there. I know one of them is a forest. No idea what the other ones are, but they don't look like they have a whole lot of lands. We have Open the Way, which you can pay up to 4, because you can pay X equals the number of players in the game, and reveal cards from the top of your library to reveal X land cards, put those on the battlefield tapped, and put the rest on the bottom in a random order. Attempt with Discovery, search your library for a land card, put it on the battlefield. Each opponent can also search your library for a land card and do that, and put it onto the battlefield. For each person who does, you get to search for another land. Most people in my immediate play group are very smart and won't search for lands when I play this card in a couple decks. Outside of my immediate friend group, people just are very greedy and they will get their lands, and you get so many, and it's Magical Christmas Land. We also have Urban Evolution in here, draw 3, and then you can play an extra land this turn. It's pretty solid. We have Contentious Plan, proliferate, draw a card, proliferate those stun counters. We have Irenicus File Duplication. You create a copy of a target creature, except it's got flying. It isn't legendary. So, copy the Omega. Also, that guy kind of looks like a Dracula. I know it's like some sort of thing with John Irenicus, but it looks like a Dracula. Realm Sketching. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact, creature, or land. Yes, Omega is legendary. However, if you copy it, you still get the ETB effect off the copy before it poofs into non-existence. Instance. We have to have some ways to protect ourselves, so we do have ourselves an Offer You Can't Refuse, Arcane Denial, and Negate. For our counter magic, we do have removal in Pungify, which actually, can I find it quick? You know what? I'll find it later. I got a Pungify in my Strixhaven cards. That was pretty cool and spiffy looking overall. Yeah, pretty cool. From my Mystical Archives in my box that I got. But then we also have Growth Spiral, lets you draw a card, play an additional land, play no Genesis. You can look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't, put a card from among them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. Eureka Moment lets you draw 2 cards, and you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Ghostly Flicker and Planar Incision, Essence Flux, and Displace are all here to blink creatures. So, you know, blink your commander, and that will get you more stun effects. For our artifacts, we do have quite a few today. Our things do cost 900 billion mana, and we are running mostly non-basic, so it's a little harder to ramp. So we are running Soul Ring, Talisman of Curiosity, and Simic Signet, and Arcane Signet for a bit of mana rocks. We are playing Conjurer's Closet, which lets you blink something at the end of your turn. Blink Omega. We do have Contagion Clasp and Contagion Engine in here for our proliferate effects. We have Panharmonicon to double our Omega's triggers, which is always super fun. We have Blade of Selves, which will allow Myriad, and yes, the Myriad tokens on your Omega will die to the state-based effects of the Legend rule. However, they do get their ETB effect when they come in. We have Helm of the Host, which, if you can get it equipped, at the beginning of your combat, will make a non-legendary token that is a copy of the creature with haste. Do that again with Omega. For our enchantments, we're only running 3. Candlekeep Sage, I love this card a lot. Like, a lot. I love this card. Commander creatures you own have, when this creature enters or leaves, draw a card. Since we're playing a lot of blink effects, we'll be able to blink our Omega and draw a lot of cards off Candlekeep Sage, hopefully getting some of those non-basics. We have Extravagant Replication. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of another target non-land permanent you control. I really like this card. I jam it in a lot of my blue decks, and I will copy anything and everything from my commander and let it die to state-based actions, but still get the EDP, to copying Propaganda, to copying Panharmonicon, Conjurer's Closet, whatever you want to copy. I have copied Contagion Engine before, which has been pretty funny. And then for our lands, essentially everything short of fetch lands and the actual dual land I kind of threw in here. We have, you know, breeding pools in here, which thank God the printings of these have caused them to get a little bit cheaper. We have Flooded Grove, you know, see, we have Crossroads Village, which you choose a color and it adds that. The gates, like Sea Gate and Manor Gate, let you choose a color. Path of Ancestry's in here, Reflecting Pools in here, Urza's Cave, Thriving Isle, Thriving Grove. Again, these let you choose colors. Yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm usually not so hard into non-basics, but this is a deck that specifically revolves around it. Now, because I almost forget one, because I'm not used to yet doing the opening hand thing, so I do apologize that I keep forgetting about it. But let's get right into it, shall we? So here we are. We'll do a handy dandy. Ooh, there we go. There. That works best. So our opening hand is not the best thing in the world. We will draw for our opening hand. We will drop this. We will actually drop this Seagate, naming green, because it enters the battlefield tapped. Next turn, we will untap. We will play our Vine Glimmer Snarl, right? And you have to reveal a forest or island card from your hand. If you don't, this land enters the battlefield tapped. You know what? We're going to reveal this island right here. Look at that. Poof. We're then going to play Explore, which lets us draw a card. And we're going to drop this island down. Pretty nifty. Then we go to our next turn. We're going to drop down this Bark Channel Pathway. And you know what? We're going to run out the Tempt with Discovery. And we are going to say, we're going to search for a land. We're going to say 2 opponents decide to. So we're going to get 3 lands. View our library. Oh my goodness, so many lands. We'll put this one in because they do not enter the battlefield tapped. We'll put this one in. And let's see here. Honestly, we're going to put Simic Growth Chamber in and bounce this island back to our hand. All right, next turn. So on this turn, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana available already. We're going to drop an island, but we're not going to drop our Omega on this turn, right? That just seems risky biscuits. Instead, what we are going to do is, oh my god, my battlefield is very cluttered because of the zoomed in nature that I have here. What we are going to do is tap for 2 and 3. We're going to drop Candlekeep Sage, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to drop Thassa the Deep Dwelling, setting us up already for our next turn. Next turn, we draw, look at this, we can drop another island. Please go under. Oh my god. We'll drop the island there. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana available. We're going to go ahead and cast Omega. This is a lower bracket deck, so probably not going to get countered. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Right there. We get to draw a card because Candlekeep Sage enters. Look at that. We have ourselves a Farseek, which we're just going to play now, because we may as well, right? And we're going to view our library. We can search for a forest. There's breeding pool. Close and shuffle. We'll let the breeding pool come into play tapped. Now, at the end of our turn, we're going to blink Thassa, right? So we get to draw a card with Candlekeep Sage. And then it comes back, which means we get to draw a card with Candlekeep Sage, and this will tap down another big thing. You also get to gain X life. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, man. All right. So 7. We draw for our next turn. Look at this. We have so much stuff. Our opponents probably don't have 8 lands, to be honest with you. But what we are going to do here is we are going to drop a Soul Ring. And then we're going to drop this for 4. So we're going to tap that. There's 4. We're just going to equip this for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that on there. This is going to create another copy. Stuns, gain life, attack. May as well attack, right? With the haste one especially. Then you draw your card off the Candlekeep. We will let this fall off to do that and draw back. We are just constantly keeping our hand full. Let's do one more. This one's a little bit worse. It's got 2 and one more. 1, 2, 3. Not bad. So you saw the power of the deck. You see what it can do. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I played through a lot of turns that time. Let me know how you're liking this like draw opening hand thing. Yeah. As if you want to see your commander made, drop in the comments down below. Sorry that this deck is almost 20 minutes, and I am Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.